13. I'm Carlos, Andrew, and Weiwei, and Brian is not here. So today we are going to explain our analysis and our solution for the future. First of all, we thought we checked the market trend, so comparing the social networking sites IPO, what's the trends, that the stock price going on, and at the same time, I checked the other countries' social networking site IPO trend. But we couldn't find the difference in the US, in the Japan, China, or the timing of the IPO. For example, in the US, there's winners and losers. Winners, LinkedIn and Yelp. And losers, Facebook, Zynga, and Groupon. And these 5 companies just published, their stock are just made published in the 2011 and 2012, almost the same time. So what's the difference between IPO before and after IPO of the Zynga? So we found the Zynga has something happened to the Zynga. So we found three problems. It's not problems, but the characters, the reasons. First, the flexible accounting practices, and second, valuation of the comparing to the revenue, and third, the reduced investors' confidence. So from first, I will pass it to the Weiwei.
First point, conflict of interest. The conflict of interest occurs when an individual or an organization is involved in multiple interests, and one of which might possibly corrupt its motivation for an act on the others. So we can see that Ernst & Young, we call EY, just provide, before the IPO, EY provide consulting service to Zynga. It's just tell Zynga how to, the accounting rules for the special revenues, and it also provides independent audit service to Zynga. Not long before, Facebook also obtained auditing and consulting service from EY. The SEC just questioned about it. And for the revenue recognition, the Financial Accounting Standard hasn't issued any specific accounting principles for the social gaming company to recognize their revenue. So, but EY just provide 3 models. The first model is game-based model, and there are other 2 is item-based and user-based. They seem to be very reasonable, but after deep consideration, you can see that the sales recognition method really depends much on the estimation of the company management. As the financial statement is the base to calculate the value of the company, you can see the problem here.
Next, the valuation. The expectation for the Zynga before the IPO was told $50 to $20 billion, like other $20 billion market. At the $20 billion cap, the top 20 most valuable companies like Kellogg, it's not the school in the Illinois, the food industry, the big giant in the food industry. But we found the interesting figures. So the second one, the earning in the summer 2011. These 4 are the same industry, the social game industry. But the comparison between the valuation at the time and earning in summer 2011 is quite different. The Zynga's valuation is 16 times of that of the earning in summer 2011. So comparing other 6, 11, and 8, so it is relatively higher than other competitors. So let's move on to the next one.
The next thing we want to touch on is the investor confidence, and this is, we're kind of focusing on why the stock is getting. One of the main reasons is Mark Pincus owns 50.15% of the company. This has nothing, I'm not commenting on his leadership style, it's simply the fact that he's said over and over he's never going to sell the company. So to attract new investors, if you're coming in, you're going along for the ride, there's not going to be a buyout point anywhere along the line, and he has full control, so it's not, you're along for the ride. Second, I mean, you're seeing that the C-level executives are leaving. This has been touched on by a few different groups, but you know, it shows instability at the top level of the company, and that's not attractive for investors. And also, you know, the business has relied too closely on Facebook. 80% of the revenues come through Facebook. That's not, as you know, you've seen in other slides, the two stocks are tied directly together. So this is some reasons why you should be concerned, or why investors aren't going to be diving into these stocks right now. Some of the future considerations. On the positive side, 308 million monthly users. That's a lot of potential for growth. I mean, there's a lot of people that are using your product and seeing the product, so that's fantastic. This next thing should be terrifying and exciting at the same time. I don't know if you've heard this yet, but only generating revenue from about 2.5% of the customers. On the exciting side, I mean, there's 97.5% more out there, so that's great. But on the downside, you know, you lose a little bit of these customers, and your profits are gone. Some areas that are going to need to have some focus in the future. There's a lot of additional competition in the mobile platform. Zynga set itself up great with Facebook for that platform, but moving on, you have different competitors, and they don't have the same market share, and they're not going to be able to compete as well. There's going to have to be new innovation, new ideas, some of which we've heard. There are also some other ideas that we can come up with. And the biggest problem is the monetization. How are you going to use your 308 million people that are using your stuff? How are you going to create dollars for that? It's been a challenge for a lot of companies. A lot of smart people are trying to come up with different ways to do this, and they're having difficulties. So there has to be some innovation there as well. You're going to have to come up with some new potential revenue streams through your large customer base. I think that's about it.
In terms of that 2.5%, so which one do you think is easier in the sense that, well, we can increase that 2.5% to 3%, 4%, that's one way. Another way is we have those 2.5%, we know who they are, we just focus on them and just incentivize them to spend more. So let's say they spend $100 per month now, let's just focus on them so that they will spend $150 per month.
I don't think that focusing on the 2.5%, getting them to spend more money is really the best method, because you have I mean, why would you build a 308, have all these users, have all this social networking, and you only have a little bit of the people that are paying for it? I mean, you have all these people already coming to the site and trying to suck a little bit more out of the guys that are already paying. I don't feel like that's the best method. I think getting maybe more smaller amounts out of a larger number and it's more sustainable as well.
So I mean, that's a good point. I mean, you have these people who play these games daily for hours. I mean, there's a lot of value that they derive from playing. If we started out at a penny, if you're willing to pay a penny for all that value, I mean, people should be willing. So what's the real problem?
You know, I don't. The problem that I'm seeing, I don't think that every time I'm spending $1 buying this, buying that, I genuinely think the company should move to more of a subscription approach. Having something automatically set up to come out of your account, so you're not seeing every time that you're buying this with $1, buying that with $1. And have it made so that, I mean, the whole platform is based on the idea of the social network, right? So you've got all of your friends playing. That's why these games are fun. That's why you're doing it. So have discounts when you're getting your friends to join. Having cheaper. If you and your friends get a subscription, it's a 50% reduction, something like that. Getting everybody involved, because you need to keep the social aspect, but you have to generate some revenues.
And you mentioned that Pincus would never sell. There was a percentage, 50%, that was his voting rights or his stock holding?
My understanding is that was a stock holding, I'm not
His
sure.
stock. Okay, so he's got more than half now and more than half the votes and all that. But from the article, I remember him saying he was always willing to sell just at this outrageous price. So I was curious why you got the sense that he was never going to sell. Oh, and then we've seen him sell, right? He sold 120 million at the end.
Yeah.
I
So,
was just curious.
in there's two different combating articles. In the early article, he wanted to sell it for $1 billion, and that was early on before it was valued anywhere near that. And that's when he was saying that he would sell at that price. Since the IPO, though, he's come out saying that, no, he's never going to sell, he wants to be the CEO till the end of time. That's gonna be his, I guess, his legacy. Since then, those are the quotes that we've seen.
Do you believe him, or is he just popular?
I mean, he sold before other companies, so I don't know, but I mean, I'm looking at it as from an investor's perspective, and if he's posturing, whatever he's doing, I don't wanna get involved with that necessarily, knowing that there's not necessarily an exit strategy.
I think that might be why all these guys left.
I don't really wanna speculate on that, but yeah, I mean, that could be one of the many reasons.